They're getting ready to do the road widening. A lot of fences have had to come down, some trees. The construction project here, widening the highway from 2 lanes to 4, ended up in our section lasting almost a year. So I just took some video footage throughout, and I'm going to try and piece it together so you can see the destruction going to construction. They did do both sides of the road at one time, which is not normal here. So it was a huge, how would we politely say, clusterfuck? Yeah. But they got it done faster, so I guess it worked out. And a big surprise, they added in storm drains, covered the storm drains with sidewalks, and then paved between the sidewalk and the road. So it turned out to be very good. It's just kind of a long, painful process, and traffic was backed up horrendously. So we're just going to show some clips, and I narrate quite a few of them, so they're rather noisy with the road noise, but such is life. This grassy island is coming out, as well as a couple of our cement waiting sheds. I've been editing on this for ages because I had about an hour and a half of footage, and I'm trying to get it down to about 10 or 12 minutes. So let's watch the destruction.
3 weeks later.
You can see they've got a lot of the destruction part done. They've ripped out a lot of the trees, a lot of fences, and the front of a number of houses. But once they start putting it all back together, it's gonna look nice. It would just suck if it was, you know, your house that got torn down. But and nothing stands in the way of progress here. I came out to check on the construction work, and they're not working today. But our waiting shed, she is gone. Let's look at this. So yeah, we had a nice cement waiting shed here to wait for buses. The destruction for this section of road work is pretty good. They're tearing out everything. I need to cross the street. I'm gonna wait and follow this Jeep because he's gonna stop all the traffic for me. Actually, the traffic's kind of stopped on its own. Generally, when they do this, they will repair one side while we drive on the other side. But for some reason, they are doing both sides at the same time. It's causing much havoc. It may get done quicker, and it will be nice when they're done. But it's a hell of a mess right now, and because they're doing both sides at once, when they are here working, they block one of these lanes, and everybody has one lane they have to share to go both directions. So, fun, fun, fun. Oh yes. They're trying to go all the way around the island, and they're been like skipping and jumping around. I did a video a year or two ago showing some of the road construction where they were tearing down like a room of a house and stuff. But it's been weird bouncing around one area, then another area. No rhyme or reason that I can see. If there is a pattern, I haven't discovered it. But they've done a bunch of the easy stuff. Now what they're having to do here is rip out trees, knock down walls, big cement walls. So it's been just a lot of work. And it's making just one hell of a mess. But, like I said, when they're done, it will be nice. This little vacant piece of cement used to be our cousin's restaurant. It's all owned by the beach resort, so they just moved into the beach resort for a little while, and then they took one of the shops that was still left and converted it to a restaurant for them. So they have moved again, but they're just right here in the little shops. This was the restaurant. It did look better when they were in it before it got torn down. Now this little blue section is their restaurant. A little caroned area. This was a small little cement island with kind of just some flower garden in it and a small waiting shed. A lady had moved into the waiting shed and was squatting, and she is now moving upstairs here. They're building her a little something. I have to get out of the way of the Jeep. Well, they're finishing up the road, and I thought these houses had survived the destruction. But it turns out they're putting in storm drains and a sidewalk. So there's a whole second wave of coming in and tearing out more fences and more front rooms of houses. Surprise! Boy, I'm glad I don't live on the highway. And why do they build so close to the road anyway? I would move back like, 30 feet. I want a front yard. That's not done here.
3 weeks later.
As they finish up, it's looking nice, but it's not all finished. Let's look behind us. About the only time you see a cement mixer here is when they're actually doing major road work. Minor repairs and sidewalks, generally the cement is still mixed by hand. It's just the way they do it. They did my whole house, mixed by hand. I don't understand it, but I'm not going to do it, so it's okay. As they're getting ready to pour the section of road, you can see the traffic is down to one lane going both directions. Not one lane each way, one lane going both ways. Fun, fun.
Two 2,000 years later.
Okay, the road is pretty much done. Now they're starting on the storm drains and sidewalks. I didn't know we were getting them, and I'm very happy to have them. But it's making a whole new mess, but I'm glad to have them. I'm more excited about sidewalks than the road widening anyway, because I use the sidewalk. I don't drive yet. Like the path going into the barangay hall. That's, safety first. It's okay. I laugh about it, but I walk on it too. The patch between the storm drain and the road is much thinner than the actual road, so hopefully people don't drive on that too much. It's where the jeepneys are going to pull over and the tricycles are going to drive. So it's not as thick as the actual road. The storm drains are surprisingly deep. When you see the people standing in them working, they're pretty deep. I was really enjoying watching how they do the storm drain and then pour the sidewalk on top of it, and they leave access holes to allow them to get in and clean out the storm drains as needed, which is probably not done very often, but it's nice that they have access points.
And yes, that is actually a parking space in the middle of the street. He's taking a nap. Yeah, it's crazy. Welcome to the Philippines. Let's see what our road looks like. Okay, see, we have a sidewalk. Let's not get hit by the Jeep. But we've got storm drains underneath the sidewalks. This part is the access. Yeah, this still is all like in the road. I mean, you know, and that is pretty reasonable. That stuff's staying in the road. It's coming along. They're finished. The construction is done. Now people just have to make it kind of livable. Some of the fences are coming back. It'll take a while before it looks pretty again, if it ever did. But it's 4 lanes, sidewalks, storm drains, even a crosswalk. We're moving up in the world, man. We are moving up. This side, with less houses on it, it's just a nicer looking road. But it's just right there. Oh yeah, they're still parked. Driver's taking a nap.
This is our very first time using the fancy new crosswalk. Ooh, we should have champagne.
It's a crosswalk.
Doesn't mean anyone's gonna stop. Enjoy your day in paradise.